Welcome to video number 6. In this video, we're going to cover operator scheduling. How do we let all of the people that work in our plant, that work on different machines, on different days and different parts of the day, how do we let them know quickly and accurately what they're supposed to be doing today? What machine do they start on? Where do they go from there? And so on and so forth. And the same thing with our supervisors. You know, they're all responsible for certain machines. We've set that up in the operation setup screen. Then we've scheduled different operators for different machines, part numbers. How do we let them know what machines they need to be at and at what time to make sure, collect the data for how many defects did we have, problem codes, did we run faster or slower than we had scheduled it or quoted it. So we're going to cover those two things, and then at the same time we're going to look at the labor utilization rate for all of the plans we put together, from planning our operators and picking our operators based on next available start time by machine and next available start time by operator. There's going to be gaps in there. And what we want to do is have a fast, fairly accurate way to determine how our utilization is really shaping up. In other words, how much downtime, idle time, do we have based on what we've scheduled to do today or in this shift. It's very simple, so if you want to start tracking time, you can do that right now, because all we do is we have operator number 1, if you recall, is Tom Jones. This is his schedule for 21st. He's starting on machine 1 at 6:02. He's going to run all the way through the day on machine 1. He's going to have, we have 455 minutes scheduled. Available is 465, so he's got 10 minutes idle, a labor utilization rate of 97.85. Now, if we move over to the right here, we see a list of all 30 of our operators, potential operators, the date. We see that we have the idle minutes here, labor utilization rate here, and the operator number here. So basically all we're really going to do is take the idle minutes and put that in here. Labor utilization rate of 97.85 in this cell. Then we're going to roll back. We're going to say, if we want to make any notes to this, we put them down here. So if we wanted to put a note after machine 1, make sure you do something, you can put it there. At that point, we're just going to click print, and it's set up to print that one page. So operator 1, Tom Jones, is going to know that he's on this machine all day. So let's go to operator number 2. Sarah, she's starting out on the do-all saw number 2. She's going to be on there, it appears, all day. So we're going to roll back over here to the right. We're going to see that for her we have 0 idle minutes and 100%. And again, if there's any notes that we want to make on her schedule, we put it down here. Push print, it prints it off. So we've got 2 of our employees now know where they're supposed to be throughout the day. Let's go to number 3. Ted. Ted's starting out on the Bridgeport mill, and he's working until 9:45, and then he's moving to the Mazak screw machine. He's working from 9:46 to 2:31, which is the end of the shift. And again, we have planned no idle minutes in his schedule. So we move over here to the right. We're on operator number 3. We need 0 idle minutes and 100% here. And then we print that schedule off, and we just keep going on and on until we get through all, however many people you have. If you have 30 operators, 20, whatever. So now you know how much time we've spent to develop that information. So take a look at your timepiece and subtract the minutes. This is the shift labor utilization screen, and it basically gives us all of the labor utilization rates for all of the scheduled employees for whatever shift or day we are planning. It lists all of the operators, all of the planned idle minutes from the last screen that we looked at, and it basically goes through all 30 of them. The only thing we need to do in this screen is put how many people we are running. In our last screen we looked at having only 3 people, and if you recall, we had Tom Jones with 10 idle minutes, Sarah with 0 idle minutes, and Ted with 0 idle minutes. And then going to tabulate all of your scheduled employees for that shift and give you the minimum labor utilization, the average, and the maximum. And then it's going to total, for every one you've scheduled, the total idle minutes, and then convert that into total idle hour. And that's basically how the shift labor utilization screen works. I'm not sure if I brought it up in the prior videos, but we're also tracking on-time shipping rates. So every time we ship on time or we ship late, it's calculating our on-time shipping percentage right here. So every day we're looking at that as well. This is our supervisor schedule screen. And basically, from our operations setup screen, all of our supervisors are put in, all of our machines are here, and then from our schedule it's pulling up the part numbers, the customer, and the scheduled finish time. And then this is what's used. Again, we print this off by operator. We can schedule up to 20 different jobs for a shift. And so this is calculated automatically for us, and then it's set up to be printed off by supervisor. So we're going to print off page 1 is going to take care of all of Tom. Page 2 is going to take care of all of Ben H., the jobs that we've scheduled for him. So now they know what time they need to be at a certain machine in order to collect the following information. Did the job run longer than quoted or routed? Shorter than quoted or routed? And if so, what were the problem codes? And the problem codes are listed right up here. If there's a runtime problem code, same thing. How many defects did we have? They collect that data. The defect problem code, and the operator number is already there for them, so they know what operator was scheduled to run that machine, and they verify that it was actually operator's number 1 that ran it. And then over here they can put any notes that they want to in this section, right in this area here. They can make some notes if they need to. Now we only scheduled the 2 machines, so that's all that's really showing up right here. But you can get an idea of how the whole system comes together by all the information that you've seen so far is calculated by filling in these cells right here. These 5 cells allow us to gather and collect all of the information you've seen in all of the 5 videos prior and come up with the conclusions that we are able to reach by having that information. So this is not rocket science by any stretch of the imagination. Any of your supervisors, I would hope, would be able to gather this information. Most, if not all, of your operators should be able to be trained to give this information, what to look for while they're operating their equipment, and get familiar with some problem codes. These problem codes you can have at each machine so that they can use them for reference, not to memorize all this stuff. And then from that point, we just have to make one basic decision. Now that we have this information, the supervisors have gathered, do we want to, A, maybe set up a computer in the plant for them to enter the data directly, or have a template in there that they enter the data in and email it to someone that's running the whole schedule for you, which is the way I would recommend that you start, just so that we don't have only but one person running it, because this is a very simple, so if you notice that from the other video. And then once I send the email to the person, they can just update it. And how close that happens to real time is really up to you. I mean, if you say every 15 minutes I'm going to go to the computer that I have this on, and I'm going to go ahead and enter all the information, or I'm going to do it on the half hour, because really what you want to do is you want to, throughout the day, if you're updated, if your bosses and marketing people or whoever needs to be updated are updated on what's happened in the last 30 minutes is probably adequate based on the information you get every 30 minutes currently. So that I wouldn't think would be a big issue. And you maybe would want to stretch it, depending on your operation and how long jobs run, you may want to do it on an hourly basis. But that's pretty much up to you. The thing that we don't want to do is make this a cumbersome project, because it really need not be that way. Now that you've viewed all of our videos, I hope that you can see that our process is a systematic approach to making an organization's workflow more effective, more efficient, and more capable of adapting to an ever-changing environment. I want to thank you again for visiting Efficiency Solutions, and have a great rest of the day.